watching North Dakota.
We are asking the world to stand up beside us.
This is the time for local power to really build. I went on a 12,000-mile road trip around the United States, visiting communities that were doing amazing things to make their communities better and to protect their communities.
The water spirit to bless you.
I got a little pickup truck and a tiny little camper that could fit on the back of the pickup truck, and I decided that that was how I was going to live. The camper was painted like a snail shell, so I was carrying my home on my back. And what I loved about that is I didn't have to make a schedule in advance. I didn't have to go to places that had airports or big train stations. I could go wherever I was led by what the stories were. And that meant that I could spend as much time as I wanted in the Montana outback or on a ranch or in Newark, New Jersey. Any place that I chose that I felt like there's still a story here that I want to understand better. And I could just get to know people. And having that kind of flexibility meant that the story could lead me rather than me sort of setting some kind of artificial schedule. So I kind of called it slow journalism.
I am enrolled in Turtle Mountain Band of Chippewas.
The question I had when I started off on the trip is, are we winning? Or are we basically losing on all the things that really count? So I wrote a book. It's called The Revolution Where You Live, Stories from a 12,000-Mile Journey Through a New America. And it shares some of those places that I visited, like the Turtle Mountain Chippewa Reservation in North Dakota, like Detroit, where I spent a week, like Chicago, like Newark, New Jersey, Greensboro, North Carolina, Dallas, Texas, Ithaca, New York. All sorts of places where extraordinary things are happening, that people have these wonderful stories to tell. It has also got 101 ways to build local power, everything from getting to know your neighbors to really ambitious things that could take years to do. And my feeling is that people know what they need to do in their own communities and are ready to do it.
Why did you put out the call in the first place if so many people have answered?
I think it's really important to show up in the places that you want to understand, because the kinds of insights we get when we're actually face to face with other human beings, and when we slow down enough to really listen to them, that kind of insight is really different than when you do parachute journalism. And what I discovered is that people are doing amazing things. They have far more power than they realize in their local communities, whether that's in Indian reservations, whether it's in Rust Belt cities, whether it's in small towns in New York State or in the Southwest. People are doing amazing things, and it's making a difference. And I wanted to find out at the grassroots, where it really counts, where people are actually living, what difference it's making, all this work that people are doing, and what hope we have, where things can really go from here. I think a lot of people feel very isolated. We spend so much of our time just going to work every day and making do and making a way out of no way, that I think people get very isolated and very worn down. And what I've discovered is that even when just 2 or 3 people get together, 3 or 4 people get together and say, you know what, we need to do something about that, just having that much community, that much sense of, you know, there's other people who share my passions, who care about something as much as I do, just that much is enough for people to feel hopeful.